League of Legends is in a lot of hot water for their new chess decision. Overwatch potentially making a big comeback, and Hatsune Miku in Rocket League. Welcome to the third episode of The Patch. Today, I'm with you. My name is Kier, and on my right is...
I'm David, screen name Blithine. I captain for the B team, and here I have...
My name's Grady. I am the UCF League of Legends title manager.
And I am Brendan. I'm the UCF lead caster for our professional and our casual teams. And I'm excited to, jump into this. I've been kind of stepping away from games recently, but I kind of did a bit of research because I was here to see what Blizzard's cooking up for us with Overwatch, because we all saw that video, didn't we?
Yeah. Time of recording is, what is today's date, actually? February the 13th. So just yesterday, Overwatch dropped their monumentous video that we'll get into later in the episode. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Honestly, I thought today was going to be a slow patch day, which is why we extended it a little longer than we normally do for our recording sessions. But we ended up getting a lot. So we have a lot to get through. So let's get right into it with our first topic. Let's see what it is. Any bets? League of Legends. They got a doozy here. So what do you guys think of the patch so far?
Well, we've been playing on it for a few days so far. It's been pretty interesting, I would say. Lots of big changes this patch, big system changes. I know that all the domination runes got overhauled, so we're seeing a lot more Hail of Blades, Electrocute, Dark Harvest in ranked and all that kind of stuff. I think there were a lot of very strong champion nerfs this patch as well. Yeah. We all know Tank Jace has been taking over the meta in pro play right, with the Thimble Winter. Just doing way too much damage for someone building all tank items, right? So
Listen, they saw the Arcane episode of him like in the cave. They were like, listen, he's gone through a lot. He can clearly tank now. So yeah, I think we'll have to see what Riot did. Probably drop a hammer on his leg, but we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, they said this was gonna be a big like champion patch. So there's gonna be a lot of changes to like champions, is what I saw. So we'll see who ends up getting gutted, because League is not afraid to just kill a character for like a few months and then bring them back eventually. So
absolutely. So we can just start right with the systems. I know this was a big one that a lot of people were talking about on the internet, the attack speed cap being buffed from 2.5 to 3.
That was that's an interesting one, right? Because it's like, now when you go full attack speed items, it makes sense to go every attack speed item, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Plus is loving that. But now, especially since lethal tempo is now like reworked, so it doesn't, go beyond your attack speed cap, right? Because I remember back then
when they removed the cap.
Yeah, when they took it out, no one went lethal tempo. Actually, no, we couldn't even go lethal tempo at that point because they already took it out of the game. But then they brought it back, and then it's like, it's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I think Jinx mains are loving this right now with all the resets. Get excited.
Carpal tunnel incoming. I remember seeing like some posts being like, it should have stayed 2.5, because like the game, like the more you increase the attack speed cap, the more it just becomes like APM, who can APM harder. Yeah. And it's like
seeing a lot of space gliding twitches.
Yeah,
right, on
exactly.
The
space. Yeah, just seeing a Twitch like ult and then int. Because he's like, I can space glide, I promise. They're Lulu's. It's like, please stop killing yourself. Yeah. It's more fun to watch that way, at least.
Definitely more fun.
Yeah, we can move on from the attack speed. Look at the champion bounties change.
Oh, yeah. I heard about this. We're continuing to turn the champion bounties for losing teams knob. Now, lead required to begin positive bounty suppression has been decreased by 60%. Sounds like a lot. I don't know how much it was before, but like, I know it was based off gold, right? Or just like in general, instead of just like objectives, kills, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was mostly based on team eco, right?
Okay.
And that's why it would always be so weird. It's like, why do you have objective balance, but I'm only down 2 kills, right? Like, that's kind of how it works. Because again, there's a lot of farming involved. It's a lot of math that is behind the scenes that we just don't really like see at the time. Like, I don't even know what the equation is. I think we'll look it up somewhere. But yeah, they just made it where it's like harder to get like money from like if you spamming kills, basically.
It's essentially like if you are losing but ever so slightly and you get all these bounties. So say for example, you are down maybe 1,000 gold and then you get a triple kill and then maybe a tower and objective, then you've made that bounty, and further, and you've gone ahead of them just because of the system. And that was abused by many people in the past. If they were, intentionally in, you don't see that strategy too often.
The thing like the old bow strategy where you'd purposely get bounties.
That was extremely broken, and they're still trying to suppress that a little bit, and this will help with that bounty system a little bit. But some losing teams might see it as a bit unfair because if you actually are in the gutter and you don't immediately shoot back up, then you're going to get maybe 1,000 gold of compensation, and that's it over 10 minutes.
Even though it isn't
that great.
Even though it is harder for those objective bounties to come up, they are still helping the losing teams a little bit. They made it so once the objective bounties do come up, the champion bounties for the losing team are completely suppressed.
Oh, okay.
So it is going to be a little bit easier if you're on the losing team. Like if you're the only person winning, let's say you're that 5-0 mid laner and everyone else on your team's losing, you're not going to have a huge bounty while you're losing, which is going to feel a lot nicer.
That's fair for losing teams, because especially with the way the season's going, it's all about snowballing. So this kind of makes it a little more fair. Like a good comparison right now is like try playing Deadlock and then you lose lane. You're not playing the game. There's no comeback in that game, right? That's kind of what it feels like right now. But I guess since they changed it, it's a little better. That's what I kind of like about League is that they try to make it fair, like just comeback potential, and this kind of helps a lot.
Yeah, I especially like that part where it's like now I don't. It's like if I'm the only person ahead, I don't have to.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I just gave the people who are already 3K gold ahead another 600.
We can move on to the souls. I believe they buffed Chemtech Soul and nerfed Cloud Drake.
There are 2 souls.
Finally.
Yeah, here we go.
Big one is obviously the Cloud Soul, right? Super strong. I think it's the best soul by win rate in the game. You just get that massive amount of movement speed when ulting, and it's just historically been one of the best souls.
Yeah. Not to mention the boots changes too.
Yeah.
So like because I know they were like trying to aim a lot more on like random movement speed that you used to get before because boots is supposed to compensate for that. But I guess they kind of forgot on like Cloud Souls. They're like, perhaps we should change that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And then just a little buff to Chemtech Soul. I can't say whether it's good or bad. Chemtech Soul is just it doesn't really change that much. I would
change,
say.
And only when you're less than half health. Like you're not gonna see that.
It's gonna feel not very much like a difference.
If you're an ADC, you're still getting one shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Only if you're a champion that benefits off low HP. So you think like Warwick or maybe some champs that like require a certain amount of time before they.
Even then, it's only 2%.
And even then, it's like who really cares?
Yeah,
not too substantial. They probably need at least a little bit of a bigger buff, or they could rework the soul a little bit, but they've already done that with Chemtech, so it's really just a mixed bag.
It's not a bad. I think it's all right where it is. Like the way it works. Less than half health, you get some damage reduction and some damage. Like that's fine, right? I think it just makes it more even. Because again, Quetzal's the best one, right? People sleep on it for some reason. I don't know why some people sleep on it, but movement speed is the best stat in the game.
Yeah, very covert.
Absolutely.
So. Yeah, it's because you're not getting adaptive.
All right, we move on from there.
Yeah.
Are there other Drakes? Void Grub.
No,
Grubs.
Grub's got a small nerf.
Fair enough.
It was definitely a little bit of a nerf. You're losing a little bit of structure damage per stack. I don't think you'll see too much of a change. I still think if you're getting to the 5-6 grubs, you're still going to be destroying towers pretty quick. It is a little bit of a nerf, but again, if you're stacking all of those grubs and getting both sets, I think it will be a pretty minor change.
Yeah, the relevancy of grubs have not changed at all. They are so much better. You want to get a comparison of what? So if you get all 3 grubs now, it would be 18 true damage per second compared to, let's say you got a Chemtech Drake and you got 5% tenacity. So, which one do you really want?
I think I want the 18 true damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where you can get 6 grubs before 3rd Drake. So
it kicks in a lot faster.
The point of dragons is, right, everyone really cares about these souls. These individual dragons are giving really small amounts, 1, 2, 3% of these random stats. So if you're getting these 6 grubs and giving the first 2 dragons, they're still 2 dragons away from soul, and you have a tool that is very effectively helping you push towers and end the game. So grubs have a lot more priority right now.
Yeah, that's why all the bot laners decided to go top now.
Yep. The lane swap.
Yeah, it's one of many reasons besides just like ruining a top laner's day. But yeah, okay. So
speaking of monsters,
Otacon, right?
You got Otacon here. You got this pretty big nerf. So Otacon, originally Voracious in particular, the concept of it was you would take it and you would get a GA that lasted for around 3 minutes. But instead of just rezzing on the spot, you res back in base and you give him 100 gold in the rose petal. And you also get a additional 40 gold for every kill you got. But now it's down to 25. And now you res in 15 seconds. And now when you kill someone with the res, they get 200 gold this time, as well as a rose petal. And me and Grady were talking about this earlier. We were thinking this made the racial icon really, really irrelevant. I'd like to hear what you guys would think about that.
Because people loved Ruinous anyway, because roses are so much better than, the GA effect that you lose immediately if you lose the next fight, right? The only reason why people liked Voracious was for the fact that you could just throw yourself at the enemy if you're losing, or you're getting an extra 40 gold per kill. You just have a free collector passive.
Yeah. It was definitely used to be really strong, because how the pros would use it, right, is let's say the teams are pretty even, and you would get their Voracious Otacon, and you could just all int kill 3 or 4 people, and you would respawn 5 seconds later, and then 5 of you are alive, 3 of them are dead, and you can force something like a Baron.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was possible because of the short respawn timer, and the enemy team was only getting a couple hundred gold for those 4 kills. And now that it's 200 gold and it's a 15-second respawn time, that's 3 times as long, right? If you kill their team, you're waiting and they kill you, you're waiting 15 seconds to come back up. So it's a lot harder to use that tempo advantage to get like objectives.
So what's respawn timer at like level 13?
It's actually
like
about
average?
15 seconds.
Yeah, it's about to say like you're basically like dying. It only really hurts like the carries that are already like hyper leveled, but like I'm gonna be real with you, every game I see, like the support is like 4 levels down. Like the support dies, they have a shorter like respawn than like the 15 seconds anyway. You might actually end up getting a longer respawn if you're a support. So
yep, for sure. I think this puts a lot more priority on the Ruinous Otacon, because like you said, it's a lot of XP. You get so many of those petals that's giving you a lot of adaptive force. And that's just going to be a lot more valuable than Voracious now with these changes.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
I didn't really like taking it anyway. It seemed like awkward, and nobody really did it well.
It kind of was awkward,
Moving on to the fun part.
Champions.
Champion changes.
Who got gutted?
Cass.
Cass did?
Yeah, Cass did get gut. Well, it's a little hard to say because Cassiopeia has been an extremely relevant soul laner recently. And this is kind of like, how do you describe it? Like a woodpecker, they just kind of like chip at something.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what this is. I mean, the move speed nerf is, it's great and all, but you're still getting a lot of move speed off that triumphant boost you get. And we have the other notes here. I believe we have a 5% less AP scaling on her Noxious Blast, which is whatever. You're not really doing the most damage with that.
Then same for W as well. The 15 down to 10%.
Yes,
AP.
the 40 plus 10% AP on my grounding ability. I wonder what that ability's for.
Yeah, it's not very relevant, honestly.
Yeah, they're pretty small nerfs. I think they were we remember at the beginning of the season, Cass was super oppressive. I think she was top 1 in 3 out of the 5 roles in the game. And that's just because they underestimated how big the buffs from the feats of strength were going to be on her because of how strong Cass is with move speed. And that just pushed her over the edge. So we've been seeing these they're chipping away at Cass to take away a little bit of that power.
I'm just noticing, what is this? Weaken her already poor laning phase.
We don't want to weaken it.
Weaken?
Wait.
That's crazy. What?
She doesn't have a weak lane phase. I think it's all right.
That's diabolical, they would say. Weaken, poor laning phase.
Like bad.
It's like...
Not the easiest, to be fair. But
We can definitely move on to the next one.
It's like winning against Jeff Bezos in bowling. It's like, oh no, you won, but who has the $1 billion?
Exactly. Oh yeah,
That's silly.
This is like the second. Is this a buff or a nerf? I don't remember.
This is a buff. Her E is getting a little bit of a damage buff. It's going up at about 5 to 20 per rank, and you're getting a little bit of % damage buff. I think this is just going to make Evelyn a little bit stronger. Yeah, I don't really have that too much to comment on this one. I haven't been seeing Evelyn that much.
I play Evelyn a little bit, and it kind of feels like it feels better later because like what ends up happening later for some reason is despite you being like high level, the only person you're killing is like the support and the ADC. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to dump everything.
Like you can't really target anyone else. Like you can't target like a mage for some reason because they have the spell not spell shield. They have
the verdant barrier.
Yeah, like Seraphs, right? Like just like the shields, right?
If you're Mel, you just
like you can't exactly. It's like you can't really do as much. So it feels better for that late game because like again, this seems more of like a late game buff. The early game, it's like again, you're bad at early anyway, right? And you snowball very well, right? But the thing is, so Eve kind of did fall off a little bit, like especially with the feats of strength, because again, late game champions just fell off a cliff when the season came out.
Yeah, skirmish junglers. She has almost no utility to deal with any sort of skirmish jungler or invade.
Exactly.
So, a little push. It's not going to put her in pro or anything, but, people might pick her up a little more.
Yeah, it seems like, especially since you're maxing E second on Evelynn, it seems like it's a pretty big push towards making late game Evelynn stronger, especially for the empowered damage. You're going up 65 damage, and it's also going from 2.5% AP to 2.5 per 100 AP, which is pretty significant. So
that's pretty good.
Her late game damage is going to be, I think, a bit higher. But like you said, probably not going to push her into pro play or anything like that.
No, not even.
Well, have fun, Evelynn fans. That means Galio.
My prestige skin gets value.
32 health nerf.
This was coming. He was extremely relevant. You look in World's Finals. I mean, that was a bit far away, but Galio was basically pick or ban. That
still strong mid lane.
What's that item called? That the Sunfire for AP.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, but that and the Riftmaker, extremely viable build that put him not only as a tanky character, but you just also deal quite a lot of damage. You can't ignore Galio. He's on your backline. Those tank items, they put in the work.
Yeah.
You'll see later that a lot
goes
of them are
crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Hollow Radiance.
That's what it's called. Yeah.
Especially since meta right now for mid lane is super like Victor, Syndra.
Yeah, scaling mages.
Right,
mostly.
you have scaling mages in the mid lane, and Galio is just historically good against those characters because of his high damage and tankiness and his magic damage shield. So 32 health nerf should hurt his early laning phase pretty significantly, I would say.
It should be substantial enough.
Yeah.
It's a good change.
Good change. Good job, Riot.
They're listening, or they just watched Worlds and
and I'm curious to see what you think about this one because we have a resident Kane player here.
So
you play Kane too? I high five you, but you're a little far.
I'm a little far. Yeah. I do this a lot in scrims. I'll be like, "Oh, you should go in Enchanter so we could bait out a melee," and then I just stack Conquer, and then I just go in. So I'm of course I'm jumping for joy in my seat right now. But it's just about a 20%. Sorry, not 20%. 20 scaling on your Q, which is your most reliable ability. That's pretty great. Me personally, I don't think Kane is exactly weak, but that's what the interpretation on him is. So this will encourage a lot of players to pick up the character. Whether or not that was their goal is not exactly my thoughts or idea, but I think this is a lot more centered around Shadow Assassin. So you can see there, this is Shadow Assassin Kane. Red Kane has that percent HP. Like level 11, you'll have your Q on a 2 or 3 second cooldown, dealing about 30% of the enemy's HP. You don't really need to nerf that, but that will inadvertently buff it. So it's all right, honestly.
Okay.
I'm curious to know what if you think this will actually impact Kane that much, because even at max level, I'm seeing it's only 20 damage buff. Also, I feel like Shadow Assassin does a lot of the damage from the passive, right?
Yeah, this is basically only going to benefit Shadow Assassin. You probably won't feel it on red. So Shadow Assassin's been pretty weak right now. I know you said otherwise, but that is my perspective as a Kane player. And it's all right. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good direction. If they need to adjust it, take it down a little bit, that's okay too.
Born to play Shadow Assassin, forced to play Rost.
That's basically it, yeah.
So fun. It's so fun to play Blue Kane, but you have to go red because it's so much safer.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, what's the next champion? Jax.
Jax.
What do we got?
Buff.
Getting a buff.
But we got base HP.
Mana
health growth
regen.
is up. And mana regen is also up. Interesting.
Okay.
And we
It says it's because they're losing. I didn't even
Biscuit's
realize
mana.
Biscuit's mana.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, he did use quite a bit, especially when you have to spam E to survive, like early game. Oh, that's all your mana gone.
Yeah,
exactly.
Biscuits, well, they took out the mana. They really hate mana regen in this game, don't they?
Well, I mean, when it exists, it's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
You never have to back or anything. So
It's definitely one of the big skill expressions in the game is like using mana properly. I'm interested to see how this affects the game. I don't personally think Kane's super weak right now. They said in the notes he's weak, especially at lower ranks, and I do agree that Jax is a champion that is very skill expressive and improves. Most characters do, right?
Yeah.
But Jax especially relies on a lot of skill expression to play him to his full potential. So I'm interested to see where this is going to put him in the meta. I remember when Jax was meta, very annoying, right? It was like Jax, Gragas. You would have to play these specific top laners to counter Jax.
Don't even remind me.
Right, yeah.
Terrible.
So we're just gonna have to see how this one plays out a little bit more.
Yeah. So safer laning. So
For sure.
Jack stocks invest.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay, Jace.
Oh,
This is it.
You didn't even say it too. Take Jace is over present.
Over present.
So I believe this is a. I looked over this a little while ago. I believe this is a bit of a. It's a nerf to the flat damage of all of Jace's abilities, in terms of leveling them up, but it's a buff to this AD scaling. And so the reason that's a nerf to tank Jace, right, is because he's going to have less damage on those abilities since he's building tank items. He's not building AD, so the base damage on all of those abilities across the board is going to be a bit lower. But you are going to see better AD scaling to compensate. So Jace, who's building Man Immune, Eclipse, stuff like that, is still going to see the same, if not better, level of strength. Because I would say probably 15% more bonus AD is going to be more impactful than 25 AD on the base skill late game. So I do think there's a little bit of a buff to Assassin, Lethality, Jace, and obviously nerf to tank Jace, which was the main focus.
My thoughts exactly.
Once they start playing AD again on Jace, I'm telling you, like those random shock blasts coming from like out of vision. Well, good luck, guys. It'll definitely hurt.
You see the cage sitting there, like, what's that for? And then you just see a massive ball coming your way. It's so funny.
Exactly. So I'm glad it's good that, it's kind of fun playing non-tank characters in tank positions, though. The playstyle is more bruisery, more cooldown reduction. It's more interesting. Yeah, unless it could kill you immediately anyway. But that's like most tanks anyway. So like, why not everyone be a tank?
Good change, Riot. I would be very happy to see less tank Jace in pro play, especially where it's very meta right now. So a good change.
Yeah, don't see him.
Oh wait, you didn't see this part.
Well, it's
more the same. Yeah, more the same.
Doesn't really make a huge difference. So me and Grady were talking about this earlier, the misfortune durability. Nerfs on her armor and armor growth. Just to take her down a peg, that's all. She's been a really strong first pick and pro play. And solo queue recently, there's literally no going wrong with misfortune at all. Nothing too much to talk about here.
Yeah, she's just always good.
Yeah, she's just been really meta, really strong in the laning phase right now. So bringing these base stats down are going to make her more counterable in the early laning phase.
Yeah.
Nasus buff. They're kind of rolling back the nerf they did before.
Yeah.
Oh, that one killed him.
Yeah.
It did for sure. We need to see a little more. I mean, that passive is a little sleeper, you know what I mean? He's got some crate sustain, but he has basically no trading. Like 2 years ago, the only relevant way of playing Nasus was literally APE maxing, which is not the intention. And then it came to support where you W max. Played against it in a scrim actually. I believe we locked Kalista Renata, and that whole champ's idea is moving around with the attack speed, and they picked Nasus with Frozen Heart. So he wasn't a character that whole game.
Back when Zeri and Kalista were super meta about a year and a half ago, Nasus support was actually pretty relevant.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
With W.
And that's been it. Nothing else. Hopefully we'll see him a little more with this sort of changes. Oh, this I hate. Someone else can talk about.
That's a pretty big attack speed buff.
It is pretty nice. It also works well with the new attack speed cap.
Oh, that's true too. But I mean, I don't know too many Quins that were building attack speed, so it's just like free attack speed. So that's pretty good. Anyway.
So this is gonna be my hot take. So I don't actually think we will see much more Quinn played, even with these buffs.
I mean, this is what you max last, right?
Yeah, you max it first.
You max it first. Actually, most players
because of the attack speed. It's your vision.
I guess.
But it also
it counts for your passive.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, okay.
So it is pretty significant. I think the bigger issue is team composition, where if you're putting an ADC in that top lane spot, you're gonna have to make up for that tankiness somewhere else, and that can be pretty hard to do right now, especially in lane swap meta. Quinn, terrible in lane swap meta, right? You have these support picks like Elise, Leona, Poppy. She's gonna die on every stacked wave. So it's gonna be really, really difficult to play Quinn in the top lane, just with the champs that are good right now. So pretty good buff to Quinn, especially for maybe solo queue. Quinn one tricks are gonna enjoy that a lot.
It's annoying in solo queue. That's
in team play, we're probably not gonna see much, if any, more Quinn.
For sure.
I just foresee that later when the meta completely changes, then Quinn becomes super meta because he forgot to revert the change.
Exactly.
I hope not.
Quinn's
I hate
annoying.
this character.
Oh, Rakan buff.
So I think the Rakan buff is pretty good compared to most other engaged supports. He's pretty weak right now.
Yeah.
I would say, again, meta is super Leona, Poppy, Nautilus, Elise. You have these like tower diving, tanky, hard CC supports, and Rakan is still very strong, but the issue is he's not tanky, right?
Yeah,
He's one of those CC
He's
enchanter
like,
hybrids.
He's kind of kiting.
Yeah, he has a lot of movement.
He's interesting.
But he has a little. He definitely needs a little bit of a buff right now. He's not in the best spot.
Yeah, they should push him in the right way. But I mean,
I don't think it'll change too much though.
yeah, he's still outshined. He'll get picked. Don't get me wrong, but he's not going to be the first thing on your mind.
Yeah,
that's true.
Definitely a push in the right direction, but probably needs a little bit more.
Here's a rel
nerf.
A rel nerf.
Well, this is how they're trying to combat all those engaged supports you were talking about from just like jumping in. So it's pretty good to see that they're actually like stopping that somewhat. Especially, I'm still surprised lane swap is so strong after all the tower buffs. Especially like consistent things, but I guess nobody really cares if the support dies. So
Yeah,
True.
Yeah, this is a pretty good change. Rel, like they said, has been very strong for a while now. Pretty highly picked, I would say, and a lot. I don't want to say easier, but her game plan is a lot more straightforward to execute than a lot of hook characters. You don't have to land those hooks, right? You just go in melee form, you mount up, click flash, and then you're just auto attacking them, flipping them over. She has that Q, breaking shields, right? Super good in the meta where most ADCs are taking barrier.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're just getting rid of that summoner spell in a 2v2 situation. So these health and armor growth nerfs should be pretty effective. I'm interested to see where she lands. I do think that it might be a little bit too big of a nerf. I would say 20 HP at level 1 and armor reduction is pretty significant in the bot lane 2v2. But if we are in a lane swap, it's probably not going to make too much of a difference.
That's true.
yeah, nothing crazy.
Ooh, that's kind of nice.
So this looks scary because you see 3 to 5 on something flat like an attack speed duration. You're kind of like, oh man, is this like the apocalypse again? Is this like the beginning of Tamira? But let me tell you, it's going to change just about nothing. I mean, I'm not going to lie. This is as irrelevant as you can get. Samira's going to E in when she knows you're in kill range and she can chain off another E. This is just nice. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just nice.
She's still going to get her ult combo off regardless of if she has this attack speed.
And if you're eating constantly, then 3 seconds, 5 seconds, what difference does it make?
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Yeah, because again, like you get a full cooldown reset when you kill someone. Usually, when you're diving in with E, you're killing someone within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't find this very relevant. I guess laning phase helps a little.
As Samir, you're not probably using this attack speed to trade, though. Samir's trading pattern is pretty... You want to take short trades on CC, or you just want to all in.
Yeah. Nothing too special.
Okay. Not bad then.
It's just quality of life, really. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, basically.
Ooh, nerfs to Skarner. I know has he been in the meta a bit? I mean, I've been seeing been seeing Skarner.
So Skarner is actually the most banned jungler in pro play currently.
Because he's like annoying, especially being able to go through walls.
Yeah,
and,
that E ability is basically what makes his kit. They made a character that you can essentially not nerf because abilities are too good. That Impale, you drag 3 people wherever you want. That E, very hard to react to. It's like Caney, but steroids.
Caney, but it stuns. And it's
Caney, but it stuns. And it's hard to look at. And also, he's double the size of Kane.
Really hard to avoid, especially.
This is about all you can do. He's still dragging you, so the real number for this is kind of still 1.5 seconds. You could say the old one was maybe 2 seconds, unless they're right against a wall.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good direction. I like that the actual stun against the wall is a little bit reduced stun time.
For sure.
Should help bring him a peg down in pro play, but I still think we're going to see a fair bit of Skarner.
Oh, yeah, for
He's
sure.
still really good, right? Like
This doesn't take him out.
Yeah, you're still dying as an ADC if you get pushed away from your tower.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, he's pretty fun. So, I'm not against it. Maybe I'll pick him up.
Very small change.
Ooh,
Swain
Lane
passive
buff.
health buff.
Mm.
We're getting a little bit of damage on the E.
10% AP scaling, 3 extra HP. It's an all right. Swain rework, small rework with his E. So the travel time doesn't deal, or the traveling forward doesn't deal any damage, but it's the explosion.
Yeah.
So, it became less reliable, more damage. That's fine. Not really the biggest deal. You're not stacking that passive as much as you'd think, especially with that E on a long cooldown. So I do think this is a pretty good buff, going in the right direction. Not too special, but yes, swing players will be happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And hopefully, I guess their idea is like with the max health per soul fragment, the idea is like you don't build as much HP, and now you have like an incentive.
Yeah, they said in the notes, I think they wanted to bring a little power to his AP build, so part of that is giving him some more health innate.
Is that a Timo nerf?
One base damage down at max rank. Oh my gosh.
Is that really
66 down to 65.
Well, again, it is the
Really?
It's the on hit damage.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So I
it's
guess it
not the
ticks multiple
poison. The
times.
poison still ticks like the way it
Okay.
does. It's just when you shoot them initially, it'll
Okay.
do 1 less damage. 1 less damage.
I think it's a pretty.
It's-
I would say this is probably a pretty placebo nerf.
This does nothing. This
Yeah.
does nothing at
Yeah.
all. PT, if you proc PT and Timo, that's all your damage.
Mhm.
1 less damage. If you can see that, I'm impressed. You should probably go to a STEM fair or something. Maybe get an IQ test.
I think the main thing is the level 1 nerf from like down by 5
Yeah.
damage, because it actually is quite a bit early game when you don't have as much poison. That's where it's important.
Definitely, but again, it's the nerf to the on hit, so the poison's still going to be doing the same amount of damage. It's just 5 less damage on hit. It'll matter, but I don't think it'll change any of Timo's matchups.
Yeah.
And then late game, it's getting less and less of a nerf at all.
Yeah,
For sure.
Not bad.
it's something, but yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Is there any more champions? Oh, Thresh.
Thresh.
You got Thresh.
Oh, he has the
Thresh got a pretty big buff this patch.
the damage
go.
buff, right? Yeah, on his E.
Shotgun Thresh. Bring it back, baby.
So
Oh, it is basic attack.
I've actually been seeing a lot of Threshes in my games recently. I think part of it is this buff. We know that Thresh does get free armor from those souls and AP in lane. So more base health is not just going to be 20 base health, right? It's effectively more because of all the free armor that Thresh is going to be getting.
And magic resist, you get both.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
And so for the Flay, you're just doing more damage from the souls, and you're also getting more % total AD. So it's just a pretty solid buff to Thresh. I think Thresh was already pretty solid in the hands of good Thresh players. So
Yeah.
I would be expecting to see a decent amount of Thresh, especially with the characters in the meta being these engage supports, right?
Yeah,
Thresh
for
is
sure.
historically good at peeling off engage.
Yeah. So
For
hopefully,
I like seeing
might
this
see
character.
more.
It's nice.
And
I mean,
again,
that's what they
Shotgun
said too,
Thresh,
is
because they buffed for Forest E, everything about is just saying you do more damage with your auto attack. Okay, that's where you Shotgun Thresh. It's so fun. It's such a fun way to play, but they're making it better.
True. Oh, Viego attack damage going down. That's not great for.
It's a big
for
nerf.
Siriph. Yeah.
It was coming.
He's pretty strong
Realistically,
right now.
He was crazy strong. He needed this peg down. Probably top 5, top 3 jungler alongside Diana.
Absolutely.
Definitely needed it. I'm happy to see below there. You can see Wukong poking out there. That makes me happy.
Another jungler going down, I guess.
I don't think I've actually won a scrim against Wukong. We always ban it because I'm just like, I cannot stand the monkey.
Yeah,
Very happy with the jungle nerfs this patch. You have Skarner, you have Viego, you
Yeah,
have
it's
Wukong.
great.
All these top tier
Oh, yeah.
junglers are getting
As a jungler, I'm
getting knocked
satisfied.
down a peg.
and a cane
sure.
buff.
Yeah,
Cane buff and a cane buff.
It's like a personal +1.
We can keep
Exactly.
moving on here.
Oh,
All right. Yep.
cooldown.
Just some cooldowns. Attack speed nerfed on the E, and then W cooldown increased. They say they want to make it a jungle skewed nerf. I think it will also just inherently be a nerf to top lane
Oh,
Wukong.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I don't really see how you can nerf Wukong W and E attack speed without saying it's going to affect his other roles.
Yeah.
But
That's true, because like the W, it makes like his time to trade a
his
lot
trading
more. Yeah,
patterns
his
he needs his W.
And then on top of that, like the E will definitely hurt his clear time a lot more than it will hurt like his trading in lane, but that still sucks.
It'll
in
definitely
lane.
affect both.
Yeah.
The E attack speed is what you want to look at here. That is fantastic for his clear, which is
Yep.
very fast. When you get that first Triforce, you have one of the fastest clears in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dropping by 5% attack speed, especially early. Yeah, you're not gonna clear that fast.
Yeah, that maybe tacks on 5 seconds on his clear.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we move on.
Not
Great.
bad.
I wish they did more.
Oh, Irons. How's Bloodsong doing?
So Bloodsong was in a really strong spot in terms of most engaged supports were taking it. Rel was taking it, Elisa's taking it, Leona's taking it, Poppy's taking it, right? All these melee engaged supports that have pretty high base AD were benefiting a lot from this item. So I know this was made specifically to knock down melee supports a peg. I don't think it affects range supports that much. The percent damage is going to stay the same. It's just a little bit less duration, but usually since the Blood Song cooldown is 1.5 seconds on ability, you're going to be able to reapply that. So
also, who's running this on a ranged character, a ranged support?
it's mostly
Bard, Senna,
Bard, Senna, Elise
Bard.
are the main ones.
Sona sometimes.
Yeah.
You ever see
I mean,
that?
I guess you could
know
do
that.
that, sure. Still.
Then Zazak's nerf. This was a little interesting. I think Zazak's wasn't amazing before this nerf.
No, it's not great. I'm not too sure what they're nerfing it. honestly.
I think it's mostly just they say in here actually mostly as a placebo to disincentivize players from picking damage supports.
Oh,
Nah.
So
Really?
they're trying to get the low elo players to stop picking Xerath, Zyra, Brand, right?
you see
all
a
those.
lot of that. In
That's
Low
funny.
Elo,
Right, so.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so like they said, mostly placebo nerf. So
they don't care.
Yeah.
They're locking in Lux for the 8th time this week, and it's like
These are probably the
that's
biggest
something.
changes of the patch.
Yeah.
The keystones on Domination 3 got massively buffed. If you see here, overall, it's
20 at level 1,
20 and then 50.
at the highest.
That is beyond crazy. I mean, it used to be 30, mind you.
Mhm.
It used to be 30, I think maybe at the beginning of this split or last year. The 70, completely bizarre. I mean, supports are going to be running this. Mid laners are going to be running this. Some junglers will be running this. This 100% needs a nerf.
Absolutely.
welcome back, Thunder.
We're seeing a lot more characters, especially in the support and mid roles, run electrocute
Yeah.
that were not before, just because it's really good for trading and high damage early.
True.
I personally loved electrocute, especially when I played Ari. You know, back then, like what season 12 or something was when I played Ari, and I'm like, yeah, I love electrocute, even though it does like no damage. It's so fun. It's like dopamine. You hit that, you get the 3 hits, and then boom, you see a little lightning bolt.
Exactly.
That was great.
And then Dark Harvest, again, similar to electrocute, you're getting 10 more damage at base, 2 more per soul. I think it's a little bit worse than the electrocute buffs. Electrocute's a little bit more consistent because you can kind of choose when you want to proc it versus Dark Harvest. It's a bit of a longer cooldown, and it's only when people are below half HP.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're still probably going to see it used a little more, but not nearly as much as electrocute.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Shoot will take the spot. Hail Blades also got buffed. I think it's by 30%.
Yeah, it's to try to match the attack speed cap
that
buff
makes
as
sense.
well, since that got buffed. They're bringing up Hail of Blades to compensate.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And it only actually bumps up. They bumped it up for melee, not range.
Oh,
so
really? Yeah,
this
that's
will
true.
be
Yeah, it does say man.
yeah.
Okay.
So this won't necessarily be a huge buff for range characters that run it, but something like Poppy is going to love this Hail of Blades
Oh,
buff.
yeah.
Poppy,
And she's already in a
Vi,
really
yeah.
strong spot.
That's
I actually might
factors.
start taking this on.
Yeah, for sure.
So now below this, we have the Swift play changes, which we won't go through because none of us have played Swift play. We will take a brief look at the skins, which I think are on the bottom. One of the skins are
There's a sudden death.
disabled.
Yeah, and quick play.
Wait, how
yeah,
does
that's
that
for
work?
Swift play.
This is all for Swift play.
We don't know. We, you know,
We have no
I've played like one Swift play, like 2 Swift play games, and I was like, "What the hell?"
you know more than me.
I was like 3 Drakes to Soul. I was like, "Did they change the game?" And then I remembered I was playing quick
It's like
play.
Valorant Swift play, yeah.
All right.
So-
So here are the skins. I think they're on the sides too, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
skin
okay.
review. How are we
So-
feeling about Dumpling Darling?
You know-
Syndra?
It's not in the game.
yeah, yeah.
It's not here yet.
They want me to not have chests, and I have to buy the skins, and they won't even put it out on time.
They
So,
haven't put out skin.
oh my gosh! But it's a very cute skin.
Yeah,
I like
it's a cool
it.
skin. I like
Yeah.
it. I can't wait for it to actually be put in
Yeah.
the game. But yeah, we go to the
Another
next.
Lunar New Year
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah.
Like
And then
every
I like
single-
this
Oh,
skin.
this
I
is
always
very
love the
cute.
Amumu skin.
Oh, the
This-
Amumu
they're,
skins
they're
is
very
really
cute.
good.
Yeah.
I got porcelain. It's like from a chest, by the way.
I got porcelain for chest as well. Yeah,
Oh
these
my
are
god,
great.
the name of the skin actually makes sense. You see a little dumpling.
Yeah,
on
it's
its
super
head.
cute.
That's pretty great.
That's
He's
awesome.
Like,
I love
it's
that.
like a crock pot.
I personally like the Syndra one a little more, just because.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Next game,
Right.
Black Ops 6.
There were some minor stuff. So again, like I said, the big meat and potatoes of this episode is definitely going to be League of Legends and Overwatch. So we're halfway through, but there is some stuff on the other sides. So first things first, we could start up at the top. This one's not too much. It's mostly just a ranked play update, basically just changing the restrictions, and they change that pretty often. So that's new stuff. I don't personally know too much, but some new stuff to keep an eye on. But let's also check out the February 3rd one, because I don't think we talked about it, unless we did, or February 11th, I should say. Okay, yeah. So more of the same. They were just moving around some restrictions. I'm not sure if it's a rotating system or not, but that seems pretty interesting if that is the case. And then, what was the February 3rd one? I think we went over the February 3rd one. Oh, no. Okay, so... Yeah,
this was the fixing the crossplay issue.
This is what the league players like to see here: the vote to forfeit.
Yeah, adding the FF vote.
Every game has this now.
Yeah.
I even see in Rivals. I'm like, guys, why are we forfeiting in Rivals?
Why do we keep copying League? I mean, come on, you gotta at least try and be original.
Yeah, exactly. Although the crossplay seems pretty interesting because I know there's a lot of divide, especially when it comes to cheating with Call of Duty. So I'm glad that console players can now be like, well, I bought a console, now I can play against people. Well, at least I can play with my friends that are on like the other console without having to also include PC players. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, they have like built-in cheats, right? They have the aim assist on the controller, so it doesn't even matter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so,
we'd move on to the next thing probably.
yeah, there were no new skins. So yeah, next one, we're going fast.
They have skins.
Clipping along.
Black Ops?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we went a bit over that one time. But
Actually, can we
went a bit
skip
over
over the
on League.
Overwatch one and leave it for later? I kind of want to go through the other stuff because the other stuff is a lot smaller before.
Yeah.
Because Overwatch is a doozy for sure.
It is
There's
definitely a lot.
lot of stuff.
So
So
let's jump around a little bit. We're gonna go to Counter-Strike,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is something you don't usually see very much.
Mhm.
You know,
Love the
like
team.
Valve's very
Mhm.
notorious for just not updating things and
Yeah,
not knowing how to
hands off.
count to 3.
Mhm.
I wonder if we'll see Counter-Strike 3.
Yeah.
Definitely just looks like a lot of UI stuff. You have some updated Dust 2 radar for accuracy. You have a fixed case issue or an inspect issue. And then the main thing is for the ranked system. It looks like they made it so that when players are too far apart in rating, they just made it so they cannot party together.
Yeah.
Week.
No more boosting.
Yeah.
No more boosting.
No more boosting, no more taxiing. You can't do that.
But you were probably on FaceIt anyway.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
So yeah, what little gets talked about in CS2, that was it. So yeah, and then our next one, which I mean, I know everyone wants to see.
Rival.
Oh, yeah.
Rivals.
It's just the skins, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing. So another
Okay.
skin review: Luna Snow Mirai 2099 and a Captain America Avengers Infinity War. Infinity War, is that really what it is? I
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
watched that comic issue.
Is that
That's
a shield?
the
the
movie.
movie.
That's
The
the
mo-
movie.
It was called Infinity War, like
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Infinity War, then Endgame.
Yeah, those
Oh,
are, yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
those.
with
I
Thanos.
was about to say you don't remember Infinity
I mean, I watched both. I
Ancient now.
promise. Yeah, it is ancient.
Yeah, 28, dude,
7
7
years
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah, that is
oh
crazy.
my
Nice.
god, don't say that. bro.
Oh man.
don't say 7. Don't say 7 years ago. Like I'm not
How many
20
wrinkles are on
already.
my face?
Yeah.
So,
Cap needed a skin. He
Yeah.
literally needed one because he had a Captain
I like
America.
these skins.
and
Pretty
the-
cool.
Yeah.
yeah, his other skin was lame. He had like a visor on it.
Yeah, exactly. This one's really nice. I like how rugged it is. The Luna Snow one though is definitely like very divisive. I've seen some people be like, "I hate the color scheme," and then other people are like, "This skin is so cute." And I really like it. I think it's a good mix up from like her existing skins because she had her base and then she had like the fancy like Elsa looking one.
Yeah.
And then this one's actually a
The
little bit
colors
of a
were
mix-up.
mostly the same on those.
Yeah,
and also they
exactly.
changed the music for this one too. The old has
Oh.
new music.
cool.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
It's
Very
not bad. It's not the Seraphim song, but
Yeah. They need to. They need
take
to
it.
add that soon.
Oh my
imagine
God.
if Overwatch.
I did not know
had,
about this one.
Different music.
Right?
For
That's
skins.
what I'm saying.
So up and coming for Valentine's Day, if you happen to be dating online with someone who's more than 3,000 miles away, you can equip these two skins, and it'll just be like you're married in real life. You know what I mean? It
Oh
looks
my
that
God.
real.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. Valentine's Day skin, pretty
Yeah.
classic, very smooth,
yeah.
classy.
I love it. I like how we haven't had like a legitimate new update from Marvel Rivals in probably like a month, but they've been delivering on the skins. So I can't.
Well,
be
hey,
complaining.
next week we get Human Torch into things. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
true. So.
that's the next week though.
You gotta-
Shout out
tune in for the
to
next
Wild
episode.
Rift for adding the
Yeah.
Valentine's Day Echo and Jinx skin.
Oh yeah.
Rest in
remember
peace,
that.
PC. PC
Oh,
didn't.
yeah.
Oh,
I don't even want.
Valentine's
I don't even
Day
want to
It's
hear
such a
about
good
that.
skin. Oh, I'm so upset about that. But yeah, as of this recording, it's tomorrow, but feel free to grab it by the time you watch this video. But yeah. All right, Rocket League. Also minor, but it has probably one of the most exciting things, I'd say.
Oh yeah, the
Hatsune Miku.
Whoa.
Every-
She's on my car.
Every game in existence is
That's
doing
the
this.
that's the character from
Oh, wow.
Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
This guy.
He
Get
too
him out
pumped
of
me
here.
back in the
Get him
day.
out of here.
But yeah, Hatsune Miku. I mean, this was a given. Anytime like Epic has anything on Fortnite and they think it could work well on a car, is
Rocket League.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So this was a given. I remember seeing it's very cute. I'm not a hater of it, but I remember hearing some people that they wish it was fancier because a lot of people really they did really good on the Fortnite Hatsune Miku stuff, especially the battle pass and the different skins. Really great stuff. Get it if you haven't.
I really like the green onion that sticks out on top of the
yeah.
car.
Oh yeah.
I think that's very iconic.
I mean, people
I
were
like the
doing this in
wheels.
real life already, right?
Oh,
Playing
they
Hatsune
did.
Miku on their car.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think I saw that on campus actually. Funny.
Wait, really?
Maybe something similar.
oh
Wait.
my gosh, wait, that's
Take a
actually
picture
sick.
next time. I want to see
Yeah,
that.
okay, I will.
Yeah, these kind of remind me of those anime decals cars
Yeah.
that you're talking
Yeah.
about. So I think
Yeah.
it's not bad. I think it's cute.
cool.
I love to see Hatsune Miku everywhere she can be. So I'm not against it. But that was the primary thing. The other thing is that I think you could do 120 FPS on Rocket League now on a console.
Yeah, on
that is.
consoles.
So-
Oh, I can't do that on my computer. Oh.
They've been hitting 300 since forever. But yeah, so that's pretty nice if you play on console. But other than that, Rocket League is also one of those games like CS2 where they don't really get updates often. And
Yeah.
If it is, it's bug fixes.
For sure.
Oh wait, no, I lied. There is a new mode. It's like a snow mode. I forgot what it was called.
Oh,
Can
in
you click on the link,
February.
actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at the very end of winter, they added the new snow mode.
Yeah, right. And it's like 2 months too late, but yeah, there was a new mode.
It's something.
What was it? New
didn't-
content.
I didn't
Okay.
see it on the
Hatsune Miku
headlines.
Snow Day.
Split shot.
yeah.
Yeah, debut split shot. So how does it work?
It says you can fly and dodge through the wall. But
Mm,
touching any surface on the opponent's half will result in a demo. Okay, interesting.
Oh, you're
Pretty
doing a
interesting.
snowball fight. Okay.
yeah. And then some new quick chat options, which is pretty good. I mean, they've been adding a lot of stuff for communication.
We got this.
we got this.
We
to
got
stop
this.
people from FFing.
1 in 7. Yeah, no, we got this.
Yeah. But yeah, they're pretty good, all things considered. I'm glad they're adding more communication options. Like they added the little boost thing next to people's name a few months back.
Yep.
And that was pretty good. So yeah, good to see.
For
So,
sure.
Very small patch. Okay.
Yeah,
there-
last
Overwatch.
topic.
Now we
Yeah.
can wind it back.
Overwatch.
Wind it back to
There we go.
Overwatch.
All right. Okay. So if you're not in the know, obviously, Overwatch has been feeling a little bit of pressure from Marvel Rivals. So they are finally giving people content that they so desperately have been asking for that they went to a different game. So,
Trying to get those players back.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
February 12th, they dropped in Overwatch. I forgot the name of the video, but Spotlight. But we'll be able to see
Yeah.
it right here. And there's going to be a lot of new content. So we're going to react to some of it. We're going to try to hit the highlights. It's a long video, so we're going to skip around wherever we
Let's say,
can.
are we going to be here for another half hour?
Yeah, probably not, but
Is it that long?
we might as well get the highlights.
Yeah.
Because they also split it up on.
Wait,
the-
is that Jeff
the-
Kaplan?
Nah, it's a new
No,
guy.
it's not. It's
That
not
look-
Kaplan.
That looks like very.
He's trying to
eerily-
look like him, though.
eerily similar, actually.
Do I look like him? I don't want to get it covered. All right. I don't know what he's saying.
You muted the audio.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whoa.
No way. Wait, are they adding Reinhardt broadcast?
Oh wait,
Ooh,
you,
Junkrat's in the
there's a
game?
broadcast voice. That's actually cool.
Oh, that's actually amazing.
Instant replay. Interesting.
But what did it do?
It's a new season. We'll talk about all the changes as when it comes
I
out.
think we had like a list put down somewhere of what they did
Yeah.
or what they're gonna do. Because again, this hasn't released yet. They
Rank reset.
yeah they put in a they just released a video showing everything. They didn't actually put this in yet. So
Yeah.
like on a headshot for an
Yeah.
example. That's really nice.
That'll be interesting. We'll be seeing that. These are just the competitive rewards. Oh,
Oh, you can
I'd
watch this.
love to see it.
That's cool.
I don't know. Did they already have competitive rewards before?
Yeah, you could use comp points
Those are
to
cool.
get golden and jade weapons. Now Galactic's next.
Oh,
So this is
pretty
the big thing, right? The perks.
yes, the
Yeah.
perks. This is like a specific game mode though, right?
Okay.
Or is this like just in general?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay, that is
Yo.
cool.
That is pretty interesting.
Vacuum. Hold up.
Yeah, basically a bunch of the heroes are going to be able to I don't know. Is this like normal matchmaking or is this specific to like a game mode? I don't remember. I didn't watch this video.
I forgot exactly.
Loot boxes.
No way.
Oh,
loot
they
boxes.
brought loot
It's
boxes
back.
back.
Oh
No
my
way.
Drop the
Crazy.
chest just for Overwatch
League
to
of
bring it
Legends is
back.
done for.
Dude, this
what
must
I'm
have been a jab at League. There's no way.
Definitely a
I
jab.
saw the backlash. They said this is the perfect time to bring back
Goats,
League.
man.
Goats meta.
Nobody
Why are
wanted
they acknowledging it?
That
in
of all
Overwatch
things?
Classic, but it's Overwatch Classic. So
That's
you
what
can ignore
killed original Overwatch. They're like, oh, you guys want this?
I knew it was too
Oh,
good to be
skin.
true. I knew
Zenyatta
something was
mythic
wrong.
skin.
Okay, this kind of goes hard though.
This is like pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's actually really nice. Zenyatta.
I'll
skin.
spend $50 on this.
Yeah,
I like the hair. It looks really good. The hair is definitely the best part of
Ooh.
it.
Yeah, very interesting.
Okay, who uses an all like that? I'm sorry, bro.
Okay, can we skip ahead actually to see like what other stuff? I want to see them. Or
New battle
maybe
pass.
maybe we could
Okay,
do
I
like
don't
2
care
times
about
speed at
battle
least,
pass, I ain't gonna lie.
or 1.5.
Those are ugly. Oh my gosh. What?
What is that Hanzo skin?
Wait, they're a
bro?
cute skin. I kind of like that one.
The Kiri's alright, but
Yeah.
it's Kiri. They always.
Oh my
try to make
god,
Kiri
that's like
look
the
good.
Ari. They added. Oh, the Mei skin's cute.
I don't even know.
Is it
I
just
like the Reinhardt
Yeah, I was
broadcaster.
about to
Yeah, I
say.
like that. That is cool.
That's what I was hoping like Marvel Rivals would do because it feels like they would do pretty good with that. So yeah, they're gonna go into the specifics. We'll capture the highlights of that.
Yeah, I would
But
like to
how
look
we're
at it.
feeling so far?
I'd like to look at. Can we pause on this ideally? So we got some choice perks that you can have. I guess it
They
must be
brought back
one or the
barrier,
other.
the old barrier ability.
Okay.
Oh, the
You-
old barrier.
You can replace javelin with barrier,
That's like why everyone hated Orisa. Why
Yeah.
are they bringing back everything that everyone
and
hated?
then they have higher speed and knockback at javelin that pierces.
Oh, that's
Pierces
pretty
and-
neat.
Yours is at full. That's gonna feel really nice.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Oh,
I like
Who's
the
lining up?
options.
Yeah,
It's nice for options.
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. So is this part of like just general gameplay? Like every match you're gonna be able to do this, or is this gonna
I
be?
don't.
I genuinely think it is.
I think so.
Yeah.
It kind of has to be, right? What is that?
I think that would be
Charge?
pretty interesting. Oh wait, this is for something else though. I think this is
Yeah.
like the stadium
Yeah.
mode or something.
Kind of hopping around.
like
I
it-
swear we need that list.
Yeah.
I swear we wrote down a list of this.
Yeah, but it's pretty interesting because I think there's gonna be a new mode with like what's it called, round based stuff. That's what I saw so far, and they're gonna have like specific perks like those, but it's gonna be like a perk tree, basically what they were promising in the PVE, but like they're actually giving it to the public
In
and-
development
yeah.
content, not
Yeah.
final.
Loot
It's
box.
just the old loot
This
box.
was in the
Yeah,
beta.
exactly.
How could it be in development?
Nah.
What is that?
It's
in
not even
development?
like they
Vaulted
put
does
a new
not Vaulted
animation.
does not mean in development,
Yeah,
Blizzard.
that's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
It's not even like it's a new engine. It's the same game.
It's the exact same animation and everything. They didn't
Yeah.
change a damn thing.
Brought it back.
Nothing changed. He got 2016 on his shirt. They were there. So
6v6.
6v6.
Isn't 6v6 coming for like real this time?
I-
I know they're doing a test.
They did that before,
Mhm.
right? I think they're gonna do it again, and then based on the response, because they also
Overwatch
they also want to
Mm.
test the new perk system too.
Mhm.
Oh, I heard
Um,
about this. This is like all the old features. So
Oh.
like Orisa has her barrier back. I think even Bastion has that shield when he's in turret form.
Yeah,
That's like really
Yeah, it's like the
old.
old Overwatch.
That's like old.
yeah.
they're stealing from Fortnite though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie though. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I like it when like live service games like do. Go
Oh, they're bringing back the Brigitte
Yeah.
shield bash.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I low key need a league classic. Like, do you know how many people played the game and have never played like with like
Someone was
season one
working on
training
a
games?
season 1 league clone, and
I
then they
need
got
that.
taken down by Riot.
DMCA.
Oh my
This is
God.
tragic, really.
Yeah. I hate when companies are like that cool thing. Screw you guys, and we won't make it ourselves. We're gonna just hire you. But
You're having fun.
Oh, rounds.
No
yeah,
more.
this is a round based thing.
Currency.
It's like
What is
Valorant
this?
or like yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a lot to take in,
There's a
guys.
lot.
like
Yeah.
And see over here, you have like bars with attack speed, CDR,
Yeah, this is
weapon
League.
power,
this is-
ability
Wait,
power.
no,
Third-person
that's
league.
not
This is
Valorant.
Deadlock.
That is Deadlock.
Oh
That's-
my god,
that's
we
literally
got
the-
deadlock. They're
It is
stepping
like
on everyone's
Deadlock.
It's literally
toes.
Deadlock. You
It
They're
is
have,
stepping on
Deadlock.
everyone's
No
toes.
way.
you have weapon, you got orange, you got purple, and you got green tree.
Yeah,
It is, yeah.
exactly.
It's the same thing.
That's crazy. Wow, who would have
Does that
thought?
mean I can go AD?
They said
Diva?
Marvel Rivals, Deadlock. Let's just
Yeah.
take all the things from those
Yeah.
games, and maybe people will want to play Overwatch again.
Or maybe I'm convinced that this is all just PvE content that they're just making public. At this point, like they probably did have a
Oh.
moneymaker just
Oh,
sitting and they just
look at
decided
that.
not
This
to.
has to be.
Upon
what-
exiting Mech,
what?
Diva's nano boosted for 8 seconds
What?
against 25% health.
Okay, that is a late game item though. That's a late game item. So
That's crazy.
I was about to say like it's not that crazy if it's like super late game.
It's insane though.
That's-
Wow.
Yeah.
Next thing you're gonna see, you're gonna like fast forward the video, and Diva's gonna be like, "The bomb is planted."
What are the game modes? Can can we skip ahead a little bit? I want to see.
It has to be the standard ones, right?
Yeah,
I'm
Maybe
sure it's
King of the
standard
Hill?
ones.
Yeah, because I remember hearing about stadium mode.
Can we
but
get
I don't remember
Hanamura
what it
back?
was.
No kidding. Don't bring that back ever.
Oh, I like Hanamura. Oh man.
Oh my
Explosive
Yo,
kunai.
whoa.
These traits are getting insane.
What
Her-
is this?
Bouncing of her healing was already pretty good. Now you can
These are-
bounce it.
Yeah,
These
but
are-
everyone's gonna be broken.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
only
These are
for
broken.
Kiryu.
2 charges for the protection, Suzu.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Overwatch
Wow.
players are eating today.
I might come back. Wow.
I might.
Right?
I
Wow,
honestly
this is like
might as
convincing
well.
me.
Yeah, hero shooter players are eating better than ever.
Yeah.
This is like when Valorant forced Counter-Strike to actually do stuff and like attack FPS people were eating for a bit.
Yeah.
It's time for the hero shooter. Concord
Healing
died
gives
for this.
allies 25%
Concord
attack
died
speed.
You had that line like on the background, didn't you?
That's
You had
crazy
that
for a
right
hero
there.
shooter. That is insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, what part?
This one
the
right here.
Healing gives 25% attack speed for 3 seconds.
That's
That's crazy.
insane.
Jesus.
And you're
He's, like,
permanently
super
healing
buffing
everybody.
up,
Yeah. And with the bouncing too. No, that's a huge. That's
Whoa.
actually.
And it
Oh.
bounces to 2 other allies. So if you, I don't know if you can have multiple, but if you, oh yeah, you have. It looks like you can have up to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that.
You take
Wow.
you
It's
take
just
both of those, and you're just giving everyone a ton of attack
Yeah,
speed.
wow, that's actually crazy.
That's crazy.
And it
And
says
that-
shop
that's-
closing, so
Yeah,
like,
and
this
that's
is
just
round-based.
that's
You
just
gotta-
the trait too. If you
you gotta
combine it with
clone as
the item effects.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I
Oh,
will say
man.
that kind of makes me sad is like, despite liking League, one thing that I liked about like hero shooters was that like people are always at a constant power level,
Yeah.
and like with these traits and stuff. Obviously, it seems like a separate mode, so this isn't like Overwatch as a whole. But like, just imagine you walk out, you immediately get one shotted by like 3 people, you know, and you can't get back into the game.
Oh, there's the
There's
OG
only-
game mode again.
Yeah.
Mm.
Why is there only so many heroes?
Because that's
It's
how many
classic.
they had
That's how
originally.
many there were.
Yeah.
originally,
Okay,
yeah.
but there was definitely a hero there that I did not recognize. I don't remember Moira being classic. I don't know about you. She's
That's
pretty
true.
new to me.
Yeah. You haven't played in a while, then. Listen, I haven't either. Oh, the
Oh,
Seraphim,
Was there like what
they're
is
coming
that?
back. I'm pretty sure, right?
What
This
the
is
heck?
all cosmetics.
It's like the K-pop group.
Yeah, they did. Oh, and there's
Wow.
some like OWCS.
What was that? Promotion relegation?
Okay, but that's just what they've
Oh,
always
that's
been
like
doing.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is this is pro face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been doing
Yeah,
stuff.
you
with
I
can
didn't
do
know they
stuff
did
on
Face
Face It.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
FaceIt basically bought like a deal. The ESL FaceIt group. They were like, "Well, let's buy Overwatch since the OWL died."
Oh,
But
that's
yeah.
funny.
But
Wow.
yeah.
So
Those
overall, how are we feeling?
I'm actually
Are they
excited.
back?
Yeah, that's
Are
cool.
we
I
back?
might actually play again.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I will. Actually.
I'm not gonna say they're back for sure, but I'm gonna try it,
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there.
But Blizzard
definitely
is known to disappoint. That's
That is
one
true.
thing I like to bring
That
up.
is true.
They
Can't
will
have
be
hopes
like-
too high.
They'll be like, "Oh, look at all this amazing stuff. Oh, it's so fantastic." And then they like lock you in a cage.
Yeah.
Then they don't feed you for 3 days. You know what I mean?
On the
Exactly.
contrary, though, this is the time to, turn things around.
Yeah.
Because if they mess this up, they're probably
They're
done
done.
for.
They're
Because
done.
Rivals
For
Rivals
sure.
is already taken over, right?
Yeah.
It's do or
Like,
die.
This is it. This is the last stand that they have.
Oh yeah.
and
for
they're
sure.
putting up a good fight. So you know
Yeah,
what?
looks
I'm
great.
happy. I'm happy. So overall, if you're a League fan or Overwatch fan or just a hero shooter fan,
Lots to be excited
yeah,
about.
lots to be excited about.
That's great.
But that is everything we have for this week. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, guests, for coming on and giving your knowledge, especially on League. That was definitely a doozy. But yeah, there's a lot of games to be played. We're all very excited for all of that. So stay tuned for next episode that we'll be doing. We're going to be covering more League because they always have patches.
Every week, every other week.
Every
I
other
know.
week.
Bring it back here.
And then we're also going to be covering a lot of more on the Overwatch news as the season comes out, and a lot more games. Like you mentioned, Marvel Rivals is also going to have a lot of stuff. So stay tuned for next week for the next episode of The Patch. Stay informed with all your games, and thank you for watching. Have a good one.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.